Today, we're ranking all of the rides at Universal Studios.
From the fast-paced Rip Ride Rockit to the kid-friendly Despicable Me Minion Mayhem, we're gonna rank them all from top to bottom. So let's grab a butterbeer and let's get to it.
So let's talk about how the ranking tier system works. We have a tier system of 5 different categories from love, like, just okay, nothing special, and
Loathe entirely.
We're going to rank each of the rides at Universal Studios in order with those different categories. And then from there, within each of those categories, Ben and I will duke it out to determine where the rides rank within each of those. Also, just to be clear, we are only ranking rides today. We're not ranking attractions like the Bourne Spectacular, Animal Actors on Location, character meet and greets, and other things of that nature that happen in studios.
Just the rides.
Also, we're not ranking the Hogwarts Express. We are only gonna rank rides as if you can only be in studios for that one day. Last, just a note is we have not included the Woody Woodpecker Kid Zone because that area of the park is now closed.
R.I.P. Let's get to ranking.
Let's get to ranking. For Universal Studios, based off of those criteria, there are 11 rides.
11.
Let's get started. Minion Mayhem, where do you want to put it? I
think Minion Mayhem is a super cute ride. As much as it is for the kids, I think Agnes is adorable. I think it's funny. The pre-show's great. You might have to wait a little bit. So for me, I would probably put this in a light category.
I don't disagree with you. I think Minion Mayhem is a fantastic ride, and you asked to do it every single time.
Every time. So let's put it in the light category.
One done, 10 to go.
Whew.
Rip Ride Rockit.
Ooh, Rip Ride Rockit for me is a tough one. I enjoy it. I enjoy a good thrill ride. It is getting a little old. It is getting a little rough. I'm probably gonna put this in the light category. I enjoy riding it, and for me, the light category is one that I'm probably gonna ride every single time we go to the parks.
I'm a little shocked that you didn't want to put Rip Ride Rockit in love. You are such a fan of a big roller coaster. I'm not. Well, like, I love roller coasters and islands, but we're not doing islands today, we're doing studios. Rip Ride Rockit's a little much for me, particularly that
vertical climb.
Yeah, what is this degree? 180 degrees?
Like 90 degree
whatever
vertical
it is,
climb.
Going at that direction, my head says And it's also not the smoothest roller coaster in the world. So I would say Rip Ride Rockit is light, but
I agree.
It looks like we're on the same page with that. Number 3, Jimmy Fallon.
No. No.
It's a pretty cute ride.
The queue's good. I like the queue in the pre-show.
The queue's good. They sing to you. It's nice.
Hashtag the panda's cute.
Hashtag is adorable.
I don't want to ride it.
How about just okay?
No, loathe entirely.
Loathe entirely?
Loathe entirely. Nope, loathe entirely.
Nothing special?
Loathe entirely.
Wow, okay. Sorry, Jimmy.
I just get motion sickness on Jimmy Fallon's. That's really about it. Like, it's the same sort of ride vehicle as Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem.
Could it be the 3D factor?
It is probably definitely the 3D factor with it and the simulator portion of it. Most of the 3D rides are probably gonna get me prone to motion sickness, which is probably why Jimmy Fallon's is so low on the list.
For people who don't get motion sick, Jimmy Fallon's is a pretty fun ride. All right, we'll move on. The Mummy. I love The Mummy, especially when it's not being refurbed. I think The Mummy is one that when we go to studios, if it is open, we ride it. We'll go and do that ride every single time.
The refurb is great. It's a little smoother. The graphics are a little better. And like we said, it's one that we will ride every single time.
Yeah.
For me, it's probably gonna go in the love category. It's a great combination of a roller coaster and dark ride. Love.
Next one. This one's a doozy.
This one might get us in trouble.
Family will feel differently about whatever we rank, I think. Because family is life, but where do you put Fast and Furious? I know my answer immediately.
What's your answer immediately?
Loathe entirely. It is a funny ride. Ben would argue that the pre-show is funny. Yeah. It's just not my cup of tea. And if we don't have to ride it, I won't ride it.
For those that you don't know, Fast and Furious is a bus style attraction. So you'll go through, there'll be screens on either side of your bus and probably in front of your bus. which is a very interesting ride concept because you'll get different scenes on either side.
It's fantastic in Kong.
Yeah.
I love it when you go to islands and ride that style ride over there. But to tell me that we have to get to a party in time,
gotta get to a party,
and the FBI's after us, and Vin Diesel is like riding a helicopter by holding on with one arm, it's just like, what did we just do? But family, because you hear that 1.5 million times.
Go into it with some humor, you might enjoy it. If you go in expecting that it's gonna be the greatest roller coaster in the world, you're probably wrong.
I know where it's going. What's our next one?
Next one, Transformers.
Robots in disguise.
Robots in disguise. For me, this was one that when we first went to Universal, I thought had a ton of potential.
Yeah.
The movies are great. There's a lot of explosions. There's a lot of high technical things in the movies. It's chaotic, just like the movie. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of characters to introduce. By the end though, all I really ever hear in the ride is like the name of the Transformers. Megatron, Starscream, Explosion.
It's true.
It's just a lot. As unfortunate as it is, for me, this is going in the nothing special category.
I think I'd push back. I think Transformers could be a just okay. I think it's a decent enough ride. Transformers is also similarly built to Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. We love Spider-Man.
That's great.
You really are in it, and it is a very cool ride. But it is just an explosion followed by yelling out a robot's name, because that's the next robot that shows up in your face. And if you don't know who the robots are, then you're really lost. You know, it's just not my thing, but I still think it's a good ride. Like, I still think it's worth going on at least once.
Yeah, I definitely think it's worth going on. You can convince me to put it in the just okay category.
Okay, next. One of my favorites. I already know where this one's gonna go. Let's be real. Escape from Gringotts is a love. You can't convince me otherwise.
And I don't think I'd try. The queue's great.
Yep.
The ride is great.
Absolutely
it's kind of
fantastic.
It's a combination of a roller coaster and a dark ride with screens. And there's a dragon on top of the
and Harry Potter.
And Harry Potter.
I remember our first time riding it, and I didn't know what to expect at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I knew it was a roller coaster style, indoor type ride, dark ride. I won't give away what happens when you start the ride, but like the very first time you take somebody on that ride, it is so fun.
Mm-hmm. Be prepared to put your stuff in a locker at Gringotts, because if you don't have a 3-prong fanny pack, the locker area, not the most efficient thing in Universal.
It's a bit snug. We're busting through these.
We're busting through these.
What's next? Men in Black.
Men in Black Alien Attack.
All I have to say is we love Men in Black Alien Attack. We play it every single time. It's a competition.
Every time.
It's a shooter game, so obviously Ben loves it.
Yeah.
We are very competitive people, some more than others, and it's so fun when you beat them at a game when they're that competitive.
Hasn't happened often.
Especially when you consistently get the bonus in Men in Black.
Most of the time it doesn't matter.
Men in Black Alien Attack 100% goes in the love category.
Yep.
Oh, and another reason to put it in the love category, excellent air conditioning. After Men in Black, what do you think of the Simpsons ride?
I think of nausea is what I think about. Simpsons is an interesting concept. It's kind of running its course a little bit, but it is a motion simulator ride similar to Minion Mayhem and Jimmy Fallon.
But it's in an IMAX theater.
But it's in an IMAX. If you're prone to motion sickness, you will get motion sick on this ride, which is me. So for me, this is a nothing special, simply for that reason.
I think The Simpsons is very funny, and I do think it's been I'll call it a series. It's been something that's like changed and evolved over the years. However, eventually that's gonna have to change for Universal, because
Disney.
Somebody else owns The Simpsons now. So the ride today, interesting. I don't necessarily love the queue. The ride vehicle that you're in, fine.
There are funny little one-liners in it.
Yeah, as The Simpsons do. It's okay. It's nothing special. It's a ride that I'm like, we've done it.
Yep.
I'm pretty good. Do I feel the need to go and jump on and do it again?
Not particularly.
So I would say I put it in the nothing special category. All right, well, we're still in the Simpsons area. There's another ride, Kang and Kodos.
Twirl and Hurl.
Twirl and Hurl.
It's kind of a Dumbo style attraction. You're in your own ride vehicle, probably with one other person, maybe two if you got a small kid, and you go up and down and spin in a circle.
Woohoo! As far as like how the ride looks and everything, great. Yeah, it's very photogenic. It looks really cool at nighttime. It's a kid-friendly ride.
Yeah, definitely.
Which, based off of Woody Woodpecker's Kid Zone area being closed right now,
you need something.
one of few in studios at this point. I think it's okay.
Yeah, I'd agree.
It just occurred to me. Because studios have so many simulator rides, this ranking is much more a matter of like,
does it make me
does
sick?
it make Ben sick?
Hey, bring your Dramamine.
Our last one before we do a little bit of organizing, let's put it that way. E.T.
Aww. I love E.T. It's so cute. I was super happy when they said that E.T. wasn't going away with the Kid Zone.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would. You can't help but be a little nervous just in case, as soon as you hear that.
It's the oldest ride
in the parks. And so every time that they're doing a refurb around E.T., you do get a little nervous that E.T. is going to go away.
E.T. is the fantastic ride. Now, given part of it is because we learned why the ride is the way it is, the backstory, how Steven Spielberg set it up. Like, there's so much nuance about E.T. that makes it so special. And generally speaking, again, it's another ride that's kid-friendly. I don't think E.T. is a love at the top of the list, but I definitely think it's a strong like.
Like we kind of defined earlier, like is one of those categories that we're going to ride every time. And E.T. is definitely in that category that we are going to ride it every single time that we go to the parks.
Well, now we've gone through and put everything in its tier. From the bottom, right now in Loathe Entirely, we have Jimmy Fallon in Fast and Furious. And before you have anything to say, I just want to say I don't think anything can be in the same category as Fast and Furious. I don't think Jimmy has done you such an injustice to deserve that dishonor.
I would agree. Fast and Furious is definitely the lowest on the loathe category. I would definitely ride Jimmy Fallon's.
Even if he makes you sick?
Even if he makes me sick, over probably riding Fast and Furious.
Can I move him up to Nothing Special?
No.
You don't want Jimmy Fallon to be moved to Nothing Special?
No.
Excuse me?
No. It's stuck.
I think Jimmy Fallon and Simpsons are like same style as far as like how it impacts you. So I think putting Jimmy Fallon in the Nothing Special category, it can stay behind The Simpsons, but it is better than Fast and Furious. That's
fine. That you can convince me that it should go into the Nothing Special category.
So Loathe Entirely.
Family forever.
Family. Nothing Special. Now we have The Simpsons and Jimmy Fallon. How do you feel about that?
They're the same ride, aren't they?
One's 3D, one's not.
And for that aspect, the 3D for me is going to fall lower than the 2D effect of The Simpsons. The 3D effect is just going to make me more motion sick, and I can appreciate The Simpsons more than I can a late night comedy show host.
I would agree as far as The Simpsons is better than Jimmy Fallon, but on the reverse, for people that don't get motion sick, I think that 3D rides are fantastic compared to 2D. But I can agree, in the Nothing Special category, I think we can have it be The Simpsons followed by Jimmy Fallon. Just okay. In this category, we've got Transformers followed by Kang and Kodos. Now, I think those are two very different rides. How do you feel about that order in the Just Okay category?
So we have Transformers over Kang and Kodos, and I'm gonna stick with that order. Transformers is a more technical ride. As much as my hearing and all that fun jazz, all I ever hear is tinnitus and Transformer names. Transformers is definitely going to be above Kang and Kodos. Kang and Kodos has some one-liners that are good, but Transformers is very immersive. There's a lot of action in it. It's just a better ride than Kang and Kodos. And
there's like an actual queue to walk through and stuff to take. Like there's stuff to click on and press on in the Transformers queue. Like
buttons.
Something will happen one of these days. Yeah, I think it's very easy to say Transformers is better than Kang and Kodos.
Moving on to the light category, we have Despicable Me, followed by Rip Ride, followed by E.T. I think there's going to be some debate here.
Yeah, because I'm not a Rip Ride fan. Not like you
Rip
are.
Ride, though. Rip Ride is so much fun. You get to listen to your own music. That vertical climb is great. Yeah, it's a little rough, but you're at a theme park.
You're shaken, not stirred after you ride Rip Ride. Like, I think with Rip Ride, I take 2 ibuprofen before we ride it, just so I don't have too bad of a headache by the time we're done. And have you ever been on Rip Ride and been sewing just to get strapped in properly that you weren't able to pick a song in time, so it just picks one for you?
No.
All the time.
No.
I get nervous because I don't want that ride to start without that harness coming down.
I'm still putting it above Despicable Me, probably in the #1 spot because of the thrill factor of Ride Rockit.
It is a lot of fun when you ride it. Yeah. Now, I might poop my pants, but like,
it's fun.
Maybe pee my pants, whatever. I'll move it
to the #1
above Minion Mayhem. I would agree with that. Is Minion Mayhem better than E.T. or is E.T. better than Minion Mayhem?
Minion Mayhem and E.T. kind of both hit you right in the feels.
Yeah.
They really do.
Especially Agnes.
E.T. hits you in the nostalgic feels, and Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem hits you in the it's so fluffy I'm gonna die feels.
That and when she's trying to give Gru the gift.
Adorable. It's adorable.
He surprises him.
Therefore, I think that Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem is a more relevant story to us.
Ben's a sucker for the little girls in that, and particularly Agnes is just adorable.
Just so cute. And I appreciate the E.T. story and the nostalgia of E.T. And I will ride E.T. every single time, but I will ride Despicable Me twice, probably.
I think we rank Minion Mayhem over E.T. for one particular reason.
Agnes.
Yeah, because if we were taking our niece and nephew to Universal, we would want to take them to Minion Mayhem immediately. E.T., yes, again, the kids, right? I'd be a little concerned that they'd be a little creeped out. But like Minion Mayhem, certainly we would take them. Yep. I think Minion Mayhem beats E.T. in the like category.
Moving on to the love category.
The final and top tier.
This one's gonna be tough.
We have it lined up right now. Mummy, Gringotts, MIB, and Gringotts has to go into #1.
Agreed. Gringotts, I think, is the best ride in studios between the queue and, like we said earlier, all those details that we mentioned. I think it's far and away the best ride in studios. So the real debate is between 2 and 3, between Mummy and MIB. 2 very different rides, very different ride vehicles, very different storylines. Do you like that sort of 1980s, 1990s dark ride with the black lights, or do you like a shooter game?
I mean, they're both fun for their own reason. Mummy is, like you said, much more thrill. Men in Black's just fun to do. This is gonna be my reasoning for why I want them in a particular order.
Okay.
If I don't have Express Pass to ride the Mummy or Men in Black, I'm gonna wait for the Mummy because 1, it moves relatively quickly. 2, the process of the queue for Men in Black, I'm not the biggest fan of. Going through the queue of Men in Black, meh. Not my favorite. Like, there's some really cool pieces of it, but I'm not the biggest fan of that queue. And if I have to wait a lengthy amount of time to ride the rides between the two of them, I think I get more out of doing it via the Mummy. I think Mummy beats Men in Black in my book. As fun as it is to beat Ben in Men in Black.
Which doesn't happen often, but I will agree with the rankings, but not the fact that she beats me often.
For the love category, we now have Escape from Gringotts, Mummy, Men in Black.
Yes.
You feel good about that?
I do.
When we go on vacation and apply this,
the categories that we are absolutely, positively going to ride are probably the love and the like category.
Yes.
The just okay category are going to be one of those that's like, if the wait's short enough or we have spare time, but if we miss it, I'm not going to lose sleep over it.
Yep.
And then the nothing special and loathe entirely.
You got to do it one time
to know
at some point, and then you can decide from there.
Decide for yourself.
Let's just say these in the final ranking in order, from best to worst.
#1,
Escape from Gringotts.
#2,
The Mummy.
#3,
Men in Black, Alien Attack.
#4,
Ride Rockit.
#5,
Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem.
#6,
E.T.
#7,
Transformers.
#8,
Kay and Kodos.
#9,
The Simpsons.
#10,
Jimmy Fallon.
and finally,
Fast and Furious.
if you agree with our rankings, let us know in the comments. If you disagree, double down and let us know in the comments and let us know why.
I'd be very curious to hear how you would move these around, where you would put them.
If you got something out of this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stick around for more Universal content. Thanks for watching.